welcome back to the Within Reach podcast. Today is an interesting one. We've got high energy today and we're going to do a rapid fire. Well, actually, I don't know if it's rapid fire because
we can talk a lot.
It's going to take a while to get through each question. But basically what's happened today is we wanted to spice things up a little bit, and Krystal and I have written down some questions on our phones, some personal questions, some stuff about the health and fitness space, and we're just going to go for it and see what comes up. I think this is going to be a really fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes up.
Yeah, because we've always have such structured episodes, and Krystal actually came up with this idea, didn't you?
No, this was you. I came up with, we got another topic that we're going to do later, which that was my idea.
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
Maybe it was Roberta.
Maybe it was Roberta.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Great idea, whoever it was.
Yeah, I don't even know if I feel like maybe it was me and I forgot. Anyway, moving on. So today we don't have a structure. We're just going to go for it and we're going to see what comes up. Krystal, do you want to start?
Okay. Number one for health and fitness related was, what is your favorite training style?
Oh, weight training.
Very nice.
It's because I have always had a passion for weight training. It's the way I train. It's the way I love. Like, I genuinely, even for a coach, like, I'm aesthetics. Like, that's my passion. That's my thing. So for sure, weight training. What about you?
I can say performance training, because it's not just running. It's not just weights in the gym, because I enjoy them both for different things. So I'll say performance training.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing. Like, but for you as well, you're somebody who really likes to train for something, like work towards a goal for an event and stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And it's funny, like, I wouldn't actually say running's my favorite. It's I like the way that running makes me feel, but the actual act of running I find really hard and can be very boring sometimes. But I love the aspect of performance training for a goal.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas for me, I'm like, I love aesthetics for getting closer and seeing the changes in your body and how you're actually looking and those sorts of things. So it's interesting to see how, like, we're polar opposites but also very similar at the same time. So I have fitness related one as well. So number 2 is, what is something that you hate most about the fitness industry?
Everybody with the very loud opinions that aren't science based.
Okay, talk about it.
I guess like everyone, I mean, not everybody, just some people online that can use their platform for like a very strong opinion that they have that is not like true, and that a lot of people then take influence to that. I think there was one called like the medic doctor or something. I don't know. There was no science to it, but this guy was the one about like celery juice.
Oh, what was his opinion on celery juice?
That celery juice, like, it saves lives, cures cancer, like all of this stuff. And people were saying, like, trying it and saying that it changed their life, but probably because they started, having some like water every morning.
Yeah.
And like started to be more health conscious in other aspects. But that was what came to mind just then. So what about you?
Yeah, interesting. I do have to just say on that one as well, like, it becomes a bit of a thing where it's hard because people don't know who to trust or what to trust because there's so much going on. And it's like, you are right in what you're saying. When somebody says that something works and then other people back that up, usually you have to look at what are the other aspects that changed alongside that as well. Because if it's not science-based and it's not evidence-based, then what is it? It's made up technically. Yeah. So just be mindful of that. And it kind of goes hand in hand with my one on what I hate it most about the fitness industry, which is, this actually goes into 2. The first one is definitely like people coming online and saying things that they don't have the evidence to back up. So it's very similar to yours. The other one that I have is actually more about coaches. So something that I hate about the fitness industry is coaches moving into the online space without having any background in face-to-face space at all. I feel like that can be really damaging if you don't know how to coach people and then you try and do it online. I don't feel like any good coaches can get good without knowing how to do it in person. And I feel so many people want to move into the online space for what they view or deem to be a lifestyle. But actually, if you want to be a good coach, you need experience in both areas. And so I find like it's more of a trend than anything.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I have seen a few people that have studied to get a certificate and go straight online, but you need to go on the gym floor. You learn so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if like it's not a long-term thing that you want to go on the gym floor, like if you want to be a good coach, would you not want to see how people move in person? You not want to interact with people in person and actually start to understand real life problems of people? Because the other thing is like, how do you learn to communicate with someone online if you can't do it face to face? And when you're doing it for business, it's very different to just a chat with your friend. Like, you need to be able to understand like people's emotional states and their habits and patterns and understand their movement and understand like what are the things that drive them. And you don't get that from online. Like these are things you can get from online if you know how to dig for it. But if you don't have the face-to-face experience, digging for it becomes a lot harder. So it may not mean that you're not going to ever be a good coach. That's not what we're saying. But like it could hold you back and it could not waste time. What's the word? Like you're just not going to get there as quick as if you had the face-to-face experience first.
Definitely. I kind of miss doing face-to-face in a way, like the connection that you build with clients face-to-face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, because I had an episode, I was on Ash's podcast at Forward Moves just before this one, and I actually said the same thing to her. Like I said, if it wasn't for Jack being in the army, I probably would still be doing a bit of face-to-face. It's just not sustainable for me as a business to be face-to-face because I have to move around so much. That's the only reason I went online. Don't get me wrong, I love online. It was the best decision ever. Like honestly, if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have gone online earlier. But I do miss face-to-face.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think for coaches, definitely get some experience first before going online.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So the next one that I wrote down was, what is an exercise that you hate?
An exercise that I hate? Ooh, I don't know. Back squats, actually. Fuck those back squats. I hate the back squats.
Oh, similar Bulgarian split squats.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a crowd most hated, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think back squats for me, I lied when I said, I don't know. It's back squats. I just try to tell myself I don't hate them because like the more I tell myself I hate them, the more I hate them. Right? But like the thing with back squats for me, I've always been so scared of back squats. They scare me. They scare the shit out of me. It's the only exercise, and you'll notice like, cause when I do my own programming, they are nowhere to be seen. I avoid, and I shouldn't, but it's like, for me, back squatting just doesn't come as naturally for me and my body. I find it a lot harder to back squat. I've got very long limbs, so like in order for me to get into a good back squat, I have to get lower because my legs are so long, and also I struggle with my hips as well a little bit. And the idea of the bar being on top of me, I'm like, you can keep that to yourself, thank you.
Yeah, honestly, like back squats and deadlifts is something that I struggled with for so long because I'm quite tall, my legs are very long, and I felt like I would always get a sore lower back, so that for the longest time, I was trying to strengthen my core, engage my glutes, all that kind of thing, but then realized it was to do with like my ankle mobility or something like that.
Yeah.
So for me with squats, I can't go ass to grass because I get like a butt wink.
Yeah.
So I'll only ever go to like a box or a bench height. Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing because everyone's movement's different. It's just important to, I think, notice like where the movement's playing up and like why that's happening. Like for me, I don't have anything specifically that stops me getting depth. I just hate them. I just don't like them. But Bulgarians, that's another one I feel like so many people just don't like because they are hard. I have a love-hate relationship with those. Like I don't hate them. But if I'm ever having a day where I'm being lazy, I won't do them.
Yeah. I think pretty much a lot of exercises, it's very much a love-hate relationship. Because like it's tough, but like I like it because it's tough.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. We are a weird species of people. What do you notice, do you notice any disconnects in the industry? And if so, what are they?
Disconnects.
Yeah.
Can you clarify?
Yeah, so disconnects, like, for example, a disconnect is something that you see, but there's two sides of the coin. So someone might be saying one thing, someone might be saying another, or maybe a gap in the market or something that you feel is just missing or not making sense in the industry.
You go first. I need to have a little think about this.
Okay, because I do have one. I feel like a really big disconnect in the industry is around, well, there's two. I've actually got two. The first one is around coaches who don't understand like people's actual lives, because we are quite privileged. And so with us, I've noticed there's a lot of coaches out there who they work in a job that is flexible, and you may not have a 9 to 5. You may have the flexibility to kind of flitter about and do what you want with your hours. And because of that, you could train at 11 a.m. You could train at 9 a.m. You could train at 6 p.m. And so when you're then coaching clients through that, some coaches find it hard to actually understand that, that level of flexibility isn't normal for a lot of people. And therefore, when you're coaching, it can be really hard to get the client to buy in because you're not understanding the real struggles that people actually have, because we're privileged. In saying that, we chose the privilege, and you do get to choose your own circumstances to a degree. So I do feel like that's the disconnect, is it's like, we coach the way that we know, but sometimes the way that we know isn't the reality of normal life. That's, I find, a really big one.
That's a really good perspective that I hadn't overly thought about. Look, the main thing that came to mind in terms, like when you said the word disconnect, I guess, is for people that don't realize how big mindset and mental health is connected with your physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge. No, but you are right though, because so many, like we experience it on a regular basis with even our clients, like the amount of times that people will jump into a goal not realizing that the thing that's holding them back is not the goal itself and their ability to reach it, but their mindset around it. And so what we learned at Dream Out Loud was about how our actions stem back to our belief systems, and our belief systems stem back to our identity. And so a lot of people struggle with their belief that they can even get to a goal in the first place. So they don't really give their all. And then when you bring it back to identity and beliefs, you go, oh shit, it's actually my mindset that's causing me to not follow through with this thing. And so the other thing is when people have a poor mindset, they don't do anything about it. They just expect it's eventually going to fix itself. And that's not helpful either.
Yeah. And have worked with clients that like haven't really seen much progress over, like 9 to 12 months. And a lot of it's their mindset holding them back and just falling back into the old patterns.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but you can only do so much to change that, because at the end of the day, people have to take responsibility for their mindset. And I know it's very, very hard to do. But do you know the amount of conversations I've had with clients where they're like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't get to this goal. And then I go, well, it's a mindset thing. What are you doing to support your mindset? And they say nothing. It's like, okay, how do you expect it to get better if you're not doing anything to help it? That's like, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you're going, oh, my mindset's bad, and then I go, okay, what are you doing to support your mindset? What are you doing to help yourself through that? What are you actually doing to try and help that? And they say, I'm not doing anything. Well, I'm like, well, there's your fucking problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, since working as a coach, becoming really aware and be able to like point out when a client is going like self-sabotage or that all or nothing mindset, or so being able to identify that as a coach. But again, you can only do so much as a coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And awareness is a massive thing. Like, I know it's hard because some people don't even recognize they're doing it. I get that. Like, I do get that. I think speaking of disconnects, another one is definitely coaches who don't have the experience on how to help people in that space. Because that's the other thing is like and we've spoken about this before, as a coach, you come into the industry to coach, to be in nutrition and training, and we're data-driven people because we follow data to see trends to know whether something's working. However, unfortunately, humans are more complex than data. So we have emotions and emotions sometimes get in the way. And when coaches don't know how to support clients with their emotions and with their mindset, that creates disconnect, because you don't know how to help someone that's struggling, even though it may not be health and fitness related specifically, and sometimes out of our scope of practice, yes. However, it's still affecting the health and fitness, because what's the first thing that goes when people struggle with their mindset or mental health? They drop their coaching, they drop their health and fitness, they stop going to the gym, they stop doing all the things that would actually help them. Why does that happen? It happens because it feels hard in the moment. And we all know that everyone likes to go back to what feels good and easy.
Yeah, awareness is something where we need to start. Okay, next one that I had written down is, if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? It's a bit more lighthearted this time.
Oh my God, this is hard, because like initially I go to like Mexican. Does it have to be a type of food or one food?
Yeah, look, I do struggle with this question because I love all food. Maybe we can say cuisine.
Thai.
Yeah. That's
100%.
Yeah, that was.
If I could eat only one thing for the rest of my life, it's Thai. Do you know, Jack gets so annoyed at me because he'll go like, because we usually get takeaway once a week, and like we have this running joke now because he'll go, what do you want for dinner? And not Thai, because it's the first thing I pick. We actually had it on Thursday, Wednesday.
It's the first thing I pick as well.
It's amazing because it's nice and it's not, it's not oily, and it's just fresh.
Yeah, and it's got a lot more vegetables than what like Chinese does. I was going to say, if I had to eat like one actual meal for the rest of my life, it'd be a satay chicken stir fry from Thai.
You don't think you'd get sick of that?
I don't think so, no, because it's kind of like peanut butter, and I love peanut butter. No. And then it's got the protein, it's got veggies, it's got carbs.
True.
It's because if I was going to choose pizza, I'd feel pretty crap if I ate pizza every day for the rest of my life.
Well, it depends. Is it homemade? Sometimes homemade is better. I had homemade last night.
Very nice. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's say cuisine and Thai.
Yeah. I feel like as well, you can tell that we're like health nuts because what's the first thing we pick? Something with protein, vegetables and rice. But it's so good. It's honestly so nice. And you know, that's the thing, like, because Jack's very much like, he's very much someone who really enjoys fatty, greasy, oily fast food. Like his fried chicken is his thing. He is obsessed with fried chicken. It's crazy. And it's like the oilier and the greasier and the more sauce and the more pickles, the better. And I'm like, I could not think of anything worse than having a meal like that. Whereas I'm like, what's going to be so yummy and really like heartwarming, but also make me feel good? And we're just polar opposites.
Oh yeah, like the way Jake views food is like purely eat for energy, doesn't care about the taste of it. Like it just,
really?
Yeah, he can go all day without eating and just like not even think about it. And I'm like,
God.
what?
I mean, when I get really busy, I do that, but I'm still like, oh, I'm hungry. I should eat now. You know?
Yeah, like recently he ate something. I'm like, was it tasty? Like what? Like was it yum? And he's like, like.
How do you not? That's like the number one reason we want to eat food is because it tastes good. How do you not know? He just doesn't even think about it.
Yeah.
So how does he know what he feels like? Like, does he ever go, oh, I feel like this?
Sometimes he normally goes to Mexican, like always goes goodies, like the burrito. Yeah, he can be a fussy one. Doesn't like to really have leftovers, and always has to like warm meals.
Oh my God, he's me.
Yeah,
I'm the same. I can't eat cold food.
Really?
Like, no, if it's meant to be. Like, obviously, you're not going to heat your yogurt up, right?
Oh,
but like, if you've had a meal, Jack does this. It actually grinds my gears. Jack does this all the time. He'll like have leftovers sitting in the fridge. He'll pull out of the fridge and he'll start eating it cold. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, I do that.
That's you know what that is? That is disgusting.
No way.
It needs to be heated.
No, it's fine. It's kind of tastes the same.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Hot food needs to be hot. There is no budging my argument.
Well, like, a lot of the time, you know, do a meal prep for the 4 days or whatever. And then a lot of my days are like I'm driving around. So I can't heat it up.
I guess so.
So I've just gotten used to it and I kind of enjoy it now.
So, yeah, see, I'm the sort of person, if I know there's no microwave, I'm not making a hot meal. I'm having like a salad. Keep it cold.
All right, next question.
Okay. This one here, you've got 1 day left on Earth. What are you doing?
Skydiving.
Really?
Yeah.
That is not what I expected.
What were you going to say?
I would say book a flight to the nearest island and relax on the beach until the world ends.
That sounds relaxing, but if I'm going to die, or like if I got 1 day left, I'd rather live to the fullest and do like backflips out of airplanes.
That is not living the day to the fullest on my part. That's like, I can understand like adrenaline and stuff, but see, it's my last day on Earth. I don't want to jump out of a plane. I still don't want to.
And I would also like to do it over like the Maldives or something.
Oh, you know what? I can see how that would be actually so nice.
Yeah.
But except for the free falling part.
Oh,
if you can take me up in the plane and bring me back down safely, I'm happy.
But yeah, it's like I did do my like skydiving course, only like the first 2 jumps like over Airlie Beach, and I was incredible. And I'd love to be able to do it completely solo because I had the people like holding on to me. But yeah, you just feel so alive because there was when I went up for the second one and I was in the airplane, I genuinely thought, I was like, what if I die? Like, and everybody like high fives, and it just felt like a moment of a movie scene where like, this is it. Something's going to happen. But then you land and it was like, wow, like the biggest adrenaline rush ever.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. I think my anxiety is too heightened for that. But it does sound, I can imagine the skydiving free fall looking over thing. Like that sounds nice.
The free fall part is pretty freaky. Once you have pulled your parachute, make sure your parachute's fine, then
well, you can tell I've never skydived because that makes sense. Check the parachute first.
Yeah.
Oh
God. What is one piece of advice you'd give to a coach starting out?
Oh, I like this one. Okay. One piece of advice I would give to a coach that's starting out, I would say do, then learn. Because so many times people want to learn and then do. But the doing is actually what helps you learn, and the doing is what's going to get you there quicker. So if you learn and don't action anything, you're not going to learn anything, and therefore you don't even know if you're going to be able to do what you want to do, or whether you know what you need to know, or whether you need help in those areas. Whereas if you go and you just do first, you're going to learn along the way. Sure, you'll fall on your face probably 10 times, but hey, you won't do it again because you've learned from it. So do, then learn.
I really like that. I guess kind of goes back to what we were saying before is, just get on the gym floor and just learn. Or actually, how do I put this into words? Well, keeping it basic. Like I remember when I first started, I thought I had to make it really interesting for the clients and do all these different sort of exercises, but just keep it simple, keep it to the basics. That's all you need most of the time.
Yeah.
And also what you said about do and learn. I got a friend right now who's doing her certificates, and it's kind of funny. It's been so long since I've done mine. 4 years now, I think. 3 years, I don't know. And she's asking for help with the assignments. I'm like, oh, send it to me. I don't even know what some of these things are. Like quite bizarre things that we don't even use
like
as
what?
a coach. It was something to do with like a pastel analysis.
Oh my God, I remember that. I actually remember the name, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, pastel analysis is a political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal analysis.
On what?
Your business?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, I have never done one of those.
Yeah.
No, but I have to say, like, because that's the thing. I mean, it's like school, right? Like, how much did we take away from school that we do use, and how much did we take away from school that we don't use? Like, I think as well, you got to remember that even in the fitness space, people are still doing different things. Like what we do and the way we coach is different to how others coach. So it's not that it's not helpful stuff. It's just that maybe we just don't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also I do have to say, I feel like the certificate these days is a bit outdated. Like I don't think that, I think they need to maybe update it and pick up their game a little bit.
Yes, I do think so.
For sure. What holds you back the most? I've just like punched you in the gut with that one.
Yeah. Like it. Are we still on health and fitness topic, or is this getting personal now?
Whatever you want.
Oh,
let's do both.
Okay. Let's say what holds me back. Fear.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this got brought up a lot with like the Dream Out Loud event, and I know we did the exercises to like let it go, which I still find myself like sometimes it'll come up and I just need to keep letting it go in terms of like fear of judgment is being a main one. And fear of failure as well. Yeah, but more so I guess like fear of judgment.
Do you know where that came from?
Just me being my own worst critic.
Yeah, so it's just like you're being so hard on yourself that you're just scared that other people are going to judge you. Do you know what's funny? Like people always say, and it's very true, like the way that you perceive the world is your view on it based on the mirror you're holding up. So like if you are scared of judgment, it's because you spend so much time judging yourself that you expect other people do the same thing. So like if you have a fear of failure, it's because you're probably criticizing everyone else's failures internally and then worrying people are going to criticize yours. It's really interesting because it's like we don't realize that the way that we see the world is actually the mirror we're holding up and the view that or the lens that we see through, which is literally just us mirrored back to us.
Yeah, I have heard of this saying before, like life is a mirror, not a window.
Yeah.
But I don't judge other people's failures. Like I am so inspired and admire everybody around me, and I'm always a very positive person. But when it comes to myself, the opposite.
Yeah, but you don't realize how much you might be internalizing as well. So it's more about judgment itself, not the failures. So this is the thing, like it's hard to admit, but usually, and I'm saying usually, I'm not in your brain, but usually if we're judging ourselves really hard and we're scared people are going to judge us, it's because we actually judge them. And so that's one to think about. And it's not to say like you just go around and go, oh my God, look at her hair. It's not like that. It's just like we just do it because we have like there's insecurity there. But that's okay because I'm the same. I have a fear of, I don't know if mine's judgment. Judgment, I'm not so scared of. I'm actually I've got a fear of rejection. I've got a really big fear of rejection, which I didn't actually realize until recently. And then a fear of, again, I don't know if it's fear of failure. For me, I actually think it's more fear of success, which when Anthony was with us, he actually spoke a lot about this. And what I recognize now is my fear of success isn't because I don't want to be successful. It's if I'm successful, then I have to hold that standard. And that standard feels uncomfortable because what does that mean for my life? And so I have this belief for some reason that the more successful you are, the harder your life is and the harder you have to work. And what happens if you want to take a day off, but you have all of this responsibility? So I'm like got a fear of success, which is like that barrier and that wall that I keep trying to break down. So weird. Because when you internalize it, you're like, but I know that's not true. but it's still there.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
I can relate to that in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like when you talk about clients, I think clients, like when you see clients that are stuck in their ways, actually something we were talking about just before with people that, you know, you can only meet them where they want to be met. And if they're constantly falling back into those habits and patterns and not doing anything to change it, right? A lot of the time it's because subconsciously they're so afraid of change, because if you change and show up as that person you want to be, what does that mean for you? That means you have to change. That means you have to be different. It means you have to show up differently. You have different responsibilities. And then for some people, it feels like it's a lot and a lot of responsibility. And so people avoid it because they're so scared that, oh my God, I have to create this whole new identity, which is uncomfortable because I don't know what that's going to mean for me. And it creates uncertainty. And naturally as humans, we don't like uncertainty. We like to be certain. So that's actually why so many people can't break their habits and their barriers, because they're stuck in this unknowing, which keeps them where they are.
Yeah, I think I first heard that from Tony Robbins, where it's like, if you want to make a change, change a habit, you need to create a new identity.
Yep.
And yeah, I thought that was very interesting. So I remember when I heard this the first time, and I'd get my journal and I did these little stick figures and I wrote out the qualities of what like the future me would have.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that, because that's the thing, like you have to step into that new identity before you act like that person. And so it's like you have to just pretend. This is where I like the saying, what is it? Fake it till you make it.
Oh,
yeah. That part, I think that's actually pretty spot on, because it's like you have to fake that you're that person until you make it to be that person. Because like, what else is the other option? Because this is the thing, like you need to build evidence before the belief, right? How do you believe in something if you don't know that it exists? So you've got to build the evidence first. Well, how do you do that? You got to pretend you're someone else. So I remember when I moved into fitness, I was a hairdresser. I had to I was like, I'm not a hairdresser anymore. I changed my whole identity. I became a whole new person overnight, I felt. I don't know, it just happened. And like, that's when big moves happen.
Yeah, I love that.
What else have you got?
Okay, so another one from like health and fitness related still. What is your favorite productivity hack?
Ooh, definitely time blocking.
Yeah, nice.
Time block. I talk about this with all of my clients. Time blocking is the number one thing that has honestly saved me. I used to be someone who was like, I'm not good with time. I was the person who was always late to things. Sometimes I still am. Time management, I'd always tell myself my time management was off. And I'd always say that I struggled with like what my priorities are. And to a degree, sometimes I still struggle with it a little bit. It does come up, but the biggest hack for me has been time blocking, because I am naturally someone who holds a lot of anxiety, and so it's easy for me to get overwhelmed when I get things out of my head and onto paper, but not just onto paper, into a calendar that is color-coded, that is timed. I know exactly what my day looks like, and it's very easy to then stick to the thing I said I was going to do.
I'm very similar, although like, I use my calendar and time block, but it could be better in terms of color coding. It's all a bit of a mess, but I know roughly. Further to that, if sometimes I'm like really procrastinating, I'm like, I know I really need to get this done, I set a timer on my phone and for like 30 minutes to an hour, whatever that may be. I'm like, okay, just for this short period of time, this is all I'm focusing on. And I find that really helps.
Yeah, that's a good one. I should probably do more of that. And like sometimes just like changing your environment is also another really good one. I find like even the other day, because I know for me, like with my job role, sometimes I have to be in creative mode and other times I have to be in get shit done mode. And the get shit done mode is really good in the office, but my creative, I'm like, I need to remove myself from this environment or nothing's going to happen. So when we were even like putting our presentations together for the event, I had to actually get out of the office and sit at my kitchen dining table, and like I cleaned my space and then I put some music on and then I like changed my environment altogether. And the amount of productivity I had with that, because I had to change, it was almost like energy systems. Like I had to change from masculine into creative, and that was hard. So when you're trying to bounce between tasks, I think change your environment up a little bit and like set different environments for different things. Like, you know, for example, if we go to the gym, we're motivated because we're at the gym. So it's like, if you need to be creative, move out of your normal get shit done office and go sit at the kitchen dining table or go to a cafe and work or do something different.
Yeah, same with like instead of like the creative and get shit done mode, because I have two jobs,
Yeah, of
essentially.
course.
So for me, sometimes if I have like a work from home day and I'm doing my other job and then I'm like, okay, now it's time for coaching, but I'm like, I can't just switch straight away. I'll go for a walk, I'll change rooms, I'll like do something. So I'm just a bit more in, it's about changing energies, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Well, it does.
Environment.
You change your environment, you change everything, right?
Yeah.
100%. Okay, I have a really interesting one. This question is, where were you 3 years ago today
Ooh,
compared to where you want to be 3 years from now?
that's so interesting.
Because I want to know, like, where were you? Where are you now? Where are you going?
3 years ago. Oh, what was
Doesn't have
I-
to be this exact day, by
Yeah.
the way. If
What
you can
year?
remember that, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, no. How old am I? 25. So when I was 22 3 years ago, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was working disability support.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were doing that.
I've worked a lot of different jobs.
Cool.
Yeah, because I moved to Newcastle 4 years ago.
Yep.
So I would have been living in my share house with 5 other housemates. So there was 6 of us in the house.
Was it a big house? Must have been.
Yeah, it was in Hamilton, like 2-story with a granny flat out the back,
Nice.
and it was the best. We were all like a little family in there. So yeah, I think at that time I was working in disability support. I was also working at Genesis at the just on desk there.
Yeah.
Were we in lockdown? I can't remember.
Well, how many years ago? Yeah, 2021. So we would have been.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No way. Is that right? No, it is right because 2020 it happened.
Wait, no, 3 years ago I would have been working in the gym.
Wait, hang on. 2024, 2023, oh, they were in 2022.
Okay.
No. I was right the first time. 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have had the second lockdown though.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021 because 2021 lockdown happened in Sydney June through to September. I only remember that because I was a mess during that time. My life was in shambles.
Absolute shambles. Oh, I'm getting my timeline all wrong. Sorry.
That's okay. Start over and scene.
Yes, let's start again. So I've been in my other job for 3 years. So
Oh, okay. So you would have started at the bakery.
yes. So I was working in the gym at WellFit right before I got the bakery. So yeah, I was still living in the share house. I would have just started seeing Jake or not even yet because we've only been together for like 2.5 years. So I wasn't even with Jake.
You weren't even with Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Jake. He didn't know what he was missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool.
I also went to Japan that year, I think.
Yeah, right. And where are you going to be 3 years from now? What's your ideal life 3 years from now?
Ooh.
I know. I really wanted to dig with this one.
3 years from now, I guess I'll be 28. I hope that like we've gone quite far within reach. We're doing like more events and more clients, and in 3 years I definitely want to have traveled South America. That's very high on my bucket list. Have a couple investment properties.
Love it.
Probably start talking about having kids, maybe.
I love it.
Yeah.
They're good goals. Write them down. Don't forget.
What about you?
Okay, so 3 years ago, I was in 2021 lockdown. I was suffering an eating disorder. I had pulled out of a bodybuilding show. Jack was away for 3 or 4 months with work. I was hospitalised. And I was, prior to that, working at Airlocker managing the studio. And Within Reach wasn't even a thing.
Wow.
Stephanie Renee Fitness was the thing, but it was like a side hustle at that point. So I was only doing a couple hours a week, just some PT on the side. So that is an interesting concept to think about that, because that was a really, really hard time for me. Yeah.
Huge.
Which, by the way, when I wrote this question down, I didn't realize that was when that was, because I just said, 3 years. And now I'm like, oh, fuck, that was actually then. Where will I be in 3 years? Well, in 3 years' time, I will probably be in Townsville, let's be honest. Because by that point, Jack and I will 100% be posted up there, unless we can somehow pull a win and stay in Sydney. But I don't think we're going to anyway. So we'll probably be in Townsville.
Cool experience.
Yep. Within Reach will be global.
Yes.
We'll have 100 staff members. No, but it will, like, by 3 years from now, like, the intention is that we're like doing, as you said, like a lot more events. We're helping many, many, many people across the world. We've got lots more coaches. Like there's a big end vision and an end goal there. We'll still be podcasting. We'll be doing all the fun things, but like being able to really like take it up a notch or 10. I'll be a mum. I want to have babies.
Yeah.
And Jack, hopefully by that point, would have put a ring on my finger, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's hope. I think it will happen in 3 years. If it doesn't, he's girlfriendless. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm just joking. But yeah, that's kind of where I want to be in the next 3 years. So I want the businesses to be able to run themselves so I can do mum life. And yeah, I want to do investment properties as well. Travel is a big thing. It's an interesting one with travel because like if you had asked me 12 months ago, I 100% would have said travel is like number one priority on the list. Get it done early so that you know that you've experienced it. And I don't know, in the last probably 6 months, I've really started to just love life for what it is. Like I'm loving just being in business. I'm loving business. It's such a passion. I'm loving my lifestyle in Sydney. I'm loving like being with Jack. I don't know. Travel, whilst something I still want to do in my life, it's not as much of a rush as it was originally. So it's something that like I want to do. I still want to do a couple of overseas trips, but I went from like all I want to do is travel to I'd be happy to maybe do a trip a year and be okay with that, which is achievable for sure.
Definitely. I'm completely the same. It's like I was also a travel agent for a little while there and my whole world is like I need trips to look forward to every single year. And so last year was my first year where I didn't go overseas, but also now, you know, like I'm working on so many amazing things for my life, like within reach and just bought a house and all these things. So yeah, travel isn't a priority right now, which I still love, but yeah, like one trip a year. I still want to do a big like 3 to 6 months South America, but.
Wow, 3 to 6 months.
Well, it's so big. There's so much to see.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough too. Like, see, for me, because this is why Jack and I get along so well. He is just as bougie as I am. We were actually talking about this the other night. He's like, I could never backpack. I'm like, yeah, me either. Is that what you would do? Backpack?
Like I'd be open to it, but I think Jake's more bougie. So, and I think it'd be nicer to have our own rooms and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting more bougie with the food lately. Like we do date night every Thursday.
Yeah, I see that on your socials. That's so sweet.
Thank you. And when we first started, it was actually his idea. I was like, not on a Thursday. Like, let's do it on the weekend. And he's like, no, let's do it Thursday. And I'd always just, let's just get takeaway, go to the beach. But since we're about to get a house, I'm like, let's just go all out. We've been going to really nice places and just sharing a bottle of wine, getting like the banquets. So it's
that's great.
Yeah, and just trying different places each week. It's really nice.
Yeah, we did that a lot before Jack went away, and he's back now, but we haven't got back into it yet. But we were like once a week going somewhere new because the last time we lived in Sydney, what had happened was we were living in Sydney for 2 years, and by the time that we moved, we were like, we haven't actually done anything in Sydney. We just fell into normal life and didn't experience it the way we wanted to. So we're like, we got to do over. Let's really like make the most of it. Let's go to different places we haven't been to. Like, I don't know if you saw, we were at the Blue Mountains the other week, and like we want to go down south, and we're just like seeing different areas of Sydney that we don't normally would see. And then we've been with restaurants and stuff because they're just everywhere. We're like, we want to go here, we want to go here. And once a week we'd try somewhere new. And, you just never knew what you were going to get. But we had to limit the fried chicken. Do you know how many times he wanted to just go to a new fried chicken place and find the spiciest? And I'm like, first of all, I don't do spice. Second of all, fried chicken again. Honestly, he has like some weird obsession that I can't handle.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Also, with your question of the 3 years, even just thinking about where I was 12 months ago is totally different to where I am now.
Well, where were you 12 months ago?
I would have been still recovering from the dog attack. Yeah, which is just bizarre to think about because that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't even working with you at the time.
No, because you started in September.
Yeah. So yeah, July last year, I was still recovering, maybe just starting to run again.
Oh, I just realised you and I must have met around 12 months ago this month.
Oh.
Because didn't we do the thing wasn't it Anthony's birthday?
Yeah, it was Anthony's birthday. When's his birthday?
July.
Okay.
Yeah, his birthday's July.
Oh,
it's the day before my
sweet.
sister's. That's why I remember.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
I know. Oh, that's so lovely. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah.
Have you got any more?
Questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm done. I've got.
Oh, okay. How much time do you spend on social media in a day?
Oh, I can actually pull up my screen time.
I
I don't actually think, to be honest, I don't think it's actually that much because I don't really scroll. But I feel, actually, That's a lot more than I expected it to be. It tells me that my daily average is 7 hours, but I feel like that can't be right because I don't spend 7 hours on social media. Why would that be happening?
I mean,
can you break it down into what? Oh, yeah,
yeah, you should be able to see.
Okay. Oh, do you know why? Because your screen time is not social media. It's a mixture of things. So for anyone who didn't know, I'm looking at the moment and with my screen time, my number one is notes. It says I spend 38 minutes a day on notes, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I also spend about 30 minutes a day on Everfit, which is our platform. And then I spend a lot of time on WhatsApp communicating with you guys and Google Chrome. But it doesn't tell me, does it give you the breakdown?
Yes. I mean,
here we go.
At a weekly breakdown. So my average is only 3 hours, which is a lot better than what I expected.
Is this what yours looks like? Oh, no, because you don't have an iPhone. Naughty.
Any chance you get.
I know, I'm like, fucking plug that one in. No, but I can see here. I actually can see. So my weekly average is 7 hours, 34 minutes of screen time. But when you actually look at what it is, my weekly average on social media is only 9 hours.
Nice.
And 9 hours and 13 minutes because I spend 10 hours a week in the productivity and finance category, whatever that means.
Very nice. Looking at my Instagram usage, it's only an average of 44 minutes a day. So that's...
Where do you find that?
Oh
yeah, no, I've got mine. Yeah, I know. No. Samsung's, oh my God. My daily average here, look, my daily average for Instagram is 1 hour and 6 minutes. That's pretty good. That's what I mean. I don't scroll.
Yeah. Okay, that was a lot better than what I expected.
Wow, yeah, 45. So you actually beat me even. Which, to be fair, I'm not surprised because you have 2 jobs. But yeah, how good's that?
I mean,
that's great. I didn't know you could break it down.
Yeah, I hadn't been on there in a long time. And when I was Googling questions, I was like, that'd be a good one. A lot of my time is spent on like Messenger, like talking to people.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then Google Maps.
Yeah, trying to get places.
Yeah.
Where the hell am I going?
Story of my life. Next,
Jacob, are you looking at your screen time?
What's yours?
Mine's 3.5.
3.5 hours. Oh yeah, but you do podcasting and stuff for a living.
Most of it is like for editing.
Oh,
Wait,
there you go.
3.5 hours for Instagram a day?
That's for like screen time.
That's
that's
actually really good.
It'll be mostly on.
Yeah.
On the computer.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Jacob is our would you call him a producer, an editor? He's our podcast guy. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I didn't even know you could break that down.
That's impressive.
Cool.
When are your most productive hours? Like, are you morning or nighttime person?
Morning for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I find I fizzle out by like 2:00, and if you need anything creative done after 2, it's not happening. Get shit done mode can happen after 2, but by 5:30, I'm like ready to just completely log off and go AWOL.
Yeah, I'm completely the same.
Yeah.
As I talked to my sister about this because she's like a night owl. Like she doesn't.
I don't get it.
Neither.
Yeah.
And she's like, I really want to be a morning person, but then she just stays up till like midnight and just sleeps in. And
do you know what though? Like, play to your strengths, because this is the other thing is social media particularly is very big on like, you know, wake up at 5 a.m. and do 10 tasks before you start work. And it's not achievable for everyone, but also it's not everyone's life. Like for some people, you're actually better off to play to the strength of, if you're a night person, do things at night. Don't feel like you have to get up first thing and do early morning stuff. For me, I like getting up early, but I can also sleep in. See, like my partner can't sleep in. I can sleep in for sure, like 9, 10 o'clock if I really wanted to. But it's like get up and go once I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm completely the same. Very much a morning person. And yes, agree that everyone should just play to their strengths. Next one that I had written down was, what was your favorite subject in school?
Why?
I don't know.
None. Are you kidding? You're glad you didn't know me in school. I was a little bit of a pain in the ass, I think. No, favorite subject in school. Honestly, dance and drama was pretty good. I did actually do that and enjoyed it for a little while, but like,
so that makes sense. You're a dancer.
Yeah, well, I guess that does make sense, doesn't it? Yeah, and I mean, I didn't really like PT at the time, which is strange because like it wasn't that I hated it, and I was very good at it. Like I was always pretty fit and athletic, but like I just hated getting changed, and then it felt like effort. You know, even now, even these days, I prefer to sit at a desk than to go and do something active. Like I don't know. I just prefer to sit and not move and think with my brain rather than my body.
That's funny. I'm kind of the opposite. I'd rather move.
Nah, I can't. Like if you said to me, like if you said you got to do a day in my life and you got to drive to different places and have meetings, I'd be like, oh, sitting at a desk all day, not moving and just thinking and like typing. Yes, that's why I think I'd be a good admin person.
Yeah, it's like I only have 1 or 2 admin days a week, like completely on the computer, and I'm so tired after those because it's a different sort of like brain fatigue.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I prefer like I'm not lazy, but I don't want to move if I don't have to. If that's coming from a coach, you know. But I do still train. Like I'll get my training done, and then after that, I am done.
Thinking back at this question, I was actually a nerd for maths in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is weird because I haven't needed to use maths and I'm horrible at it now. But I remember in primary school, did you ever play mathletics?
Yes. Wasn't that like oh my God,
like
that has unlocked a core memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad would get up at like 4 a.m. and so I'd get up with dad and I'd start playing mathletics before school. I was a bit of a nerd. Yeah.
How old were you?
This was primary school, so
So you're telling me you're 10 years old and you're like, yay, let's get up at 4 a.m. to play mathletics.
Yeah, weird.
That is not okay.
That girl is long gone.
Yeah, well, far out.
One other I had written down is if you could choose a superpower, what would you pick?
I would choose like the invisibility. I would 100% do that because you could overhear so many cool conversations. Like, could you imagine being invisible and going and listening to like Nicki Minaj have a conversation? Like, wouldn't you not just want to do that and just like know what she talks about?
I love out of every single human in the world, Nicki Minaj.
Well, I mean, I just think she would have some whack conversations.
She probably would.
Like, you know, I just think, you know, rapper, Nicki Minaj, weird conversations. You know, like if you go and have like a conversation with Ariana Grande, it's probably like sweet and innocent. I don't want that. I want like the real shit. I want to know what's going on.
I want the real shit. I love that. I think for me it'd be flying.
Why? Just to overlook the view of
and
stuff?
Transport places.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love being in the sky. Like I love airplanes. Like skydiving.
Put some wings on that girl.
Yeah. So if I could fly and then I can, travel around, go to places.
We are different people. I'm like, overhear conversations. You're like, I want to fly.
That's great. Yeah.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, the last one I had said was, what was your favourite holiday? If you'd like to, what's your favourite holiday that you've taken?
All of them. I don't really have one specific. I just like holidays. Speaking of which, I'm going on my first holiday and taking a full week off work in 4 years.
Woo! Exciting.
I'm so excited.
I can't believe it's been 4 years.
Yeah, never had a holiday. And, well, not never had a holiday I have, but I have never taken a week off work. So this will be the first time and I'm shitting my pants.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Cool. That was an interesting episode.
It was.
It was a little bit like rapid fire, but I was look, you know what this episode reminds me of? One of those all playlists where you put all of your songs from every single genre into a playlist and it just spits out random ones and it's up and it's down and it's here and it's there. That was this podcast.
That's a very good description of what today was.
But hope you learned something.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you had a good opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.